What's up, Pyromaniacs? Pyrostasis here. We are back in the world of Call of Duty doing a little FFA on Slums. We're going to talk briefly about the gameplay before we get into today's topic. First off, I'm using the Vector with the silencer and the laser sight. This gameplay is one I usually wouldn't throw in because I had, I think, 18 deaths, which is a hell of a lot for FFA. However, I did manage to pull off the win, and it was one of those games that was very close. It felt like I was playing with people of similar skill levels. And it was really, really rough. You know, getting the win was a pain in the ass. I had to put my try-hard pants on, and it was just rough. And, you know, there was a quick scoper in here that was absolutely phenomenal. I show a kill cam that just blew my mind. And I like playing against people like this occasionally. You know, it makes you get better, but at the same time, it's not always the best YouTube clip. But today we're going to talk about a topic that I've been trying to come up with a way to cover for a while. It's one of those things that I feel very seriously about, but it's difficult to portray in a commentary. So I'm going to do my best. Hopefully you guys can follow and I don't sound like a rambling idiot, but if I do, I apologize in advance. What we're going to be talking about today is kind of a mixture of drive, learning, and just how you do things. And for me personally, when I get focused on something or when I get interested in something, I tear it to pieces. I'm a voracious animal that just cannot get enough of it, and I just pound and pound and pound until I either master it, get bored of it, or find a challenge that just won't stop, kind of like I have with YouTube. Sometimes that's a good thing. It allows me to pick things up very quickly. The bad thing about it is a lot of times I lose interest very quickly once I figure something out. And YouTube's one of those unique challenges that no matter how good you think you are, you've still got stuff to learn. And that's kind of the whole basic of the topic today. When I was growing up, my dad used to basically have this phrase that said, if I'm willing to learn what you learn, but you're not willing to learn what I learn, sooner or later, one of these days, I'm going to be smarter than you are. And that has kind of stuck with me for most of my life. Whether or not you like somebody, whether or not you respect somebody, whether or not, somebody's a friend of yours, you can usually learn something from them if they're good at what they do. You may not like White Boy 7th Street or PewDiePie or Tobuscus or whoever, but you can't deny that they're probably good at what they do, and how they do things is what you probably want to look at. The way I usually go about things is, I've got a very varied system, but first off, when you first start YouTube, or when I first started YouTube, I kind of set a benchmark. Where do I want to be a year from now? Where do I want to be 3 months, 6 months, etc. from now? And then I tried to find people that are on YouTube that were already at that size. Folks that, I could kind of use as mentors, even though they don't realize that you're using them as a mentor. And then you see how they do things. What do they use? What do they do? What's their video quality, their mic settings? How do they go about reaching their subscribers? Where are they active forums wise or other communities like Reddit? How do they advertise? Things like that. And some of that stuff, it's not always easy to see. Sometimes, you've kind of got to just glean that. Most YouTubers aren't going to talk about their secrets. But as you watch their channel over time, things let slip and you kind of, oh, okay, I see how you're doing that now. That's pretty awesome. And, some of the stuff's going to be good. A lot of it's going to be bad, and you're just going to have to filter it out. And that's kind of one of the scary things about YouTube is you really only get one shot to get it right. If you fuck things up, you use some illegitimate method, it's going to kill you. Either YouTube's going to shut you down or your subscribers are going to get pissed. So, it's better to do things legitimately than illegitimately, for sure. And you also need to just kind of learn what things are legitimate tips and what things are just stupid stuff that you should, sub for sub doesn't work. You need to stay away from that, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. But, once you've learned the basics, it's all about small percentages. And what do I mean by small percentages? Well, when you first get on, it's like, all right, well, I got to get 720p or 1080p content. I got to get a good mic. Those things are types of stuff that are really going to pay dividends massively. You're going to be able to see that as soon as you switch that up. The people are going to like your content more. However, things like, utilizing annotations correctly, responding to some subscribers, working in Facebook, Google, Twitter Plus, or other way around, Facebook, Google, Twitter Plus. I did it again. Facebook, Twitter, and Google Plus. What is Twitter Plus? I just made up a social network out of nowhere. When you start utilizing those, it doesn't grow as fast as you might expect. You only see like a 2 or 3% increase. And when you see those, it's like, well, shit, is this really worth it? Well, yeah, once you get to that level, once you start getting to the point where, you're maybe 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers or more, and things are now going to be about small changes, small fixes, small adjustments, and you need to keep working for those, keep looking for those, because those are basically the secrets to how to do this. And you've got to fight with all of these other idiots out there. Unfortunately, some of them are good, most of them aren't, and people got to find you, and the only way they're going to find you are utilizing these methods. And the other thing is, don't get lazy. Don't think you know it all. I hit 10,000 subscribers, I know everything there is to know about YouTube. Here I am. I've got 18,000 subscribers across 3 channels, and I don't know everything. I bet PewDiePie doesn't know everything. There's a lot of stuff that you can learn. And the other thing is, what works today and this year won't work next year. What worked in 2006 won't work now. What works in 2013 won't work in 2015. And if this is something you want to do long term, you've got to make adjustments. And the only way to make these adjustments is to stay informed, be active, read those websites, learn about how it works, learn about the changes, follow these people on, Twitter, or follow their articles, their websites, et cetera, and learn. Don't stop learning, because as soon as you do, that's when you stop growing. When you stop growing, you're just inevitably giving up. So that's kind of what I wanted to express today. Hopefully it didn't come off too rambling and too just disorganized. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them there. I do read all of my comments on all 3 of my channels. Hopefully you guys are liking this series. If you do, please click the like button. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next clip.